Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Realm of Ori. In this video, we will continue with Volume 15, Chapter 4, The 8 Gates, Part 6. And before we start, this video contains spoilers from the Tensura Light Novel. And by the way guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notifications for upcoming videos. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Veyron, with the title of Duke, was the second most powerful of the 7 demon nobles, having gone unbeaten for almost 4,000 years. Despite this, Malcolm could only feel the shame of lying on the ground since he couldn't emulate the figure of a martial artist in front of him. Malcolm's special ability, the Disguiser, allows him to imitate Kondou's position and correctly use the proxy rights. Veyron is a formidable opponent, but Malcolm remains superior. Veyron's ability to do more than only bend the knee is because to his great level of competence. His battle powers as a demon were just unbeatable. It was a terrifying situation, but Veyron was unfazed. Not only that, but the heart is content with the current condition. That is undeniable. It was necessary to boast about being able to win in front of Master Ultima and the subordinates in order to win. "Oh demon, is the name Veyron? Your courage is admirable, but no matter how many times you try, it will be in vain. I was able to see right through you. At this point, I'm good enough for you. Perhaps I didn't demonstrate any real talent, but my judgment is correct." Malcolm tried to persuade him to surrender, but when he saw Veyron's reaction, he was taken aback. The strength differential between Malcolm and Veyron, in Malcolm's estimation, was like heaven and earth, and Kondou's strength was overwhelming, except now it was Malcolm's own. Veyron had less than a quarter the amount of mana as a demon noble, which had previously seemed a little hard because it wasn't one-on-one, but now that it was just Veyron and Malcolm, it was extremely helpful to Malcolm. "You can't win by imitating me since I'm also a good imitator." "Huh? What exactly do you mean? A fake is not as good as the real one. Are you aware that's the case? Can you tell me what you're trying to say?" Malcolm was tense. "Let me tell you something. What I consider to be my best effort is," Veyron screamed, his newly gained abilities unleashed. Ultima's butler is Veyron. He worked 24 hours a day, taking care of all Ultima-related affairs, and anything his master asked for had to be done. Zonda was given the specialized realm of cookery, but Veyron was in charge of everything else. In this setting, Veyron has developed the rare skill of Imitation Master, a useful ability that allows him to transform into anyone. Veyron would be able to incarnate into the figure he had seen by unleashing this imitator. It was a skill comparable to Malcolm's Disguiser, but with far greater precision than Disguiser. Emperor Rudra's might, on the other hand, strengthened Malcolm. Veyron should have no chance of winning based on that factor, it goes without saying. Veyron's emulation of a character is more powerful than Malcolm's emulation of a character. It was just that Malcolm could only duplicate a small portion of Kondou's strength and was unable to create monsters that were too powerful, like Veyron, who possessed the same talent, could. So Veyron chose a supernatural entity who entranced even his master, and he intended to copy Demon Lord Rimuru and take control of one end of his power. Veyron, on the other hand, heard voices at this time. In this case, it's impossible to grant permission. In exchange, I'll offer you power. With the voice of world, it's a feasible scenario. Veyron was speechless at first, but as he realized the ramifications, he felt appreciative. "Even I, as I am protected by that love." Veyron expressed his gratitude to God in the form of a prayer. As a result, Veyron discovered that his abilities had improved. Even mimicry becomes art as long as it moves the person, and, as with proving the phrase, power moves the person in power. The voice gifted the true fake writer. It was because of this talent that Veyron was certain to win Malcolm over. Malcolm was confronted by a teenage martial artist with a keen eye. "Who? It makes no difference who it is. I've never seen a more powerful swordsman than Kondou, and you're free to copy anybody you want, but you'll still have no chance of winning." Veyron's mimicked young martial artist had a striking resemblance to Agera. But that was to be expected, because Araki Byakuya had a similar appearance when he was younger. Veyron has achieved the pinnacle of mimicry with this achievement. Veyron pondered his thoughts. Writers who are capable of copying the works of an artist at their prime are the true fakes. What? It's as though you're a whole new person." Malcolm was taken aback. Regardless of Malcolm's emotions, Veyron solidified a sword in his hand, a demon-only power known as material creation. Even if it's just a fake copy of Agera's blade change, it's already something that gives the real fake writer an additional special gift, and it's considerably closer to the real thing's performance. Veyron spoke with a brief glance at Malcolm. "Yes, Kondou is a force to be reckoned with, but Just tell me what you're trying to say? Lord Carrera has gone off to fight, and I believe his fate will soon come to an end. What a stupid thing to say. Malcolm made a sneering remark. Malcolm had no way of foreseeing Kondou's defeat. The two exchanged stares. After that, it's just a question of strength because the two side statements are incompatible. At the same time, both sides began to move. Plum blooms. True fake transcends wonderful technique. Yatsujirakura, Yahashimoto. The false becomes the actual thing at this point. Veyron's 8 sword flashes bounced off 5 sword pathways, chopped off Malcolm's arms with the remaining 3 sword flashes, and the last flash of the blade came to rest right above Malcolm's neck. Malcolm lifted the change because both arms were in excruciating pain. Even if he really wanted to halt the bleeding, he couldn't because he'd already lost both arms. I'm not going to murder you. Are you trying to kidnap me? How can that be? Veyron smirked slyly as he lifted the change. I work for Miss Ultima. I'll do anything to make her happy. It wasn't a response in the traditional sense, and it filled Malcolm with uncontrollable horror. How do you intend to treat me? Malcolm couldn't help himself and had to inquire, indicating that he had entirely bought into Veyron's plan. Veyron was the one who responded. Missy is a cruel person who enjoys nothing more than the sentiments that the adversary fills with out of suffering, and she rarely kills the opponent immediately, preferring to let his corpse rot over time. I was in a position to counsel you, but that was all. Malcolm thought to himself, I don't want to hear it. Veyron, on the other hand, is unyielding. It brings me the most joy, my son, to watch a powerful guy crying for mercy in a wretched and pathetic manner, and to feel a joy that no other experience can compare. As a result, Veyron's comments declare Malcolm to be the most brilliant toy of all. Stop. I give up, or I pledge I'll never resist again, so. No one could blame Malcolm for starting to beg, and he became vulnerable when he slipped into a defensive stance, as he had no idea what the defeat would be. Don't worry, I'm not going to say yes. Why? Because, after all, isn't the Empire's policy the same? Your point of view is one that I agree with. Hey, isn't it fantastic that once a war has been declared, you never approve of the opposing side's surrender? The weak should be completely followed from the start and should wait until they lose before approaching the negotiation table. Else, they will be humiliated. It's a strikingly similar style of thinking. Do I understand you correctly? How can you say no when it's your turn, given what you've been doing all along? Boy, take responsibility. After that, give Miss Ultima pleasure. Veyron's genuine self emerged. This is Veyron, who is very much in keeping with the first dependence of Ultima's identity, ruthless and nasty, unyielding. Help, Lieutenant Kondou, please help me. Kondou was unresponsive to Malcolm's screams for assistance. Ooh, that's a soothing cry, but it'll probably cause problems for the rest of the group, so I'll have to calm you down first. With that, Veyron yanked Malcolm's tongue out with a yanking motion. In this unearthly detachment from the real world, Malcolm's dissonant voice echoed. After then, what happened to Malcolm?